Okay, welcome back to Grew Mike, and thank you so much for coming back on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is is this the third time, fourth time?
I think like four now, right?
Wow, there we go. I need a punch card. I need a punch card.
Yeah, because the last time you were on, I think was for slap face, right? That was the last
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that poster is right behind me. That's
I
that one
see,
right there. Yeah, slap face.
I see that. Yeah. So like the first I want to start out first I watched a movie and I loved it, and
Thank you.
you were really amazing in that movie. Like just the way the way you acted, how confident like your character is, your performance in that was just amazing. I loved it.
Thank you. Well, it was a fun character to play. It was I was scared when I said yes to the role because he's more intense than any character I've ever played, and it's more he accesses some emotions that are just anger and hurt and revenge and violence and all of these aspects to his character that are more extreme than I've ever played before. I've played a bad guy, I've played people that are angry and whatever, but not to this extreme.
Yeah,
So it was
exactly.
it was really I was scared when I said yes, but I knew that if I was going to do it, I was going to have to go for it, and I think I did.
Oh man, definitely you did.
Thank you.
So like how did you actually get to be part of the movie? And I saw like aren't you a producer too or for the film?
Yeah, so I found the script through a friend of mine, Nick Thurr, who was also a producer on Slapface,
Yeah.
and he's a good friend of mine. And he sent me the script early on, and I said, "Hey, I don't think it's for me, but here are some notes. I think this script is trying to do too many things. You need to focus it down, and these are my thoughts." And Nick connected with he and Barry J,
Yeah.
who's the writer director. To their credit, they came back a couple months later and they said, "Hey, Mike, here's the new version of the script." And I said, "Wow, this is much better. This is great. Like this is there's depth here, and there's and because Barry had focused his vision, he was able to do so much more with the characters that were on the page.
Mhm.
And Barry called me a week maybe after that conversation, and he said, "Hey, Mike, do you want to be Shayne?" And I said, What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, the more I think about it, the more I can't see anybody else as Shayne. Do you want to be Shayne?" And I said, "Oh," I was like, "Wow, that's." I said, "Can I think about it for a day?" And he said, "Yes." So I took the day, I thought about it, I called him back the next day and I said, "Yes." I said, "Yes, I will do it." I
Oh,
said, "I hope that this," because Barry has been great at collaborating up until that point. He had been great at collaborating. I said, "I hope that you will continue to listen to me because I have some ideas." And he said, "Yes, absolutely." And to his credit, the entire filming process, the entire with my character, with other people talking to him, and with the crew and everything, like he was very much a collaborator and a team player through and through. So it really made everybody feel safe and listened to and everything. And I think some of the changes that we made to Shayne, to my character, really did help with showing the humanity underneath. Because at the end of the day, what I didn't want him to just be a villain and just
well, yeah,
be
exactly.
this guy that's just angry and full of violence and that's it. I wanted that all to be there because that's part of the story, but also I wanted the audience to understand where that came from and sort of the scar tissue underneath that led to all of that
Yeah.
pain and revenge and everything. And I think we found that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And what I love is like when we first see you in the movie, you come on the screen and you're this hot buff buff jock with a wrestling shirt on.
Yeah.
And but like as soon as as soon as you see Shayne, like he knows what what he wants, and he flirts with Alex to get what he wants, which is to live there.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Shane is that's the fun aspect of playing somebody like Shane is that exactly what you said through and through. He knows what he wants and he knows how to get it, and he will use whatever he needs to get it. And whether that's intimidating somebody or flirting with somebody or manipulating somebody with his words or whatever that looks like. And that is a fun character to play. I think that we all, could use a little bit more of that boldness in our lives, and but maybe not to that extreme, obviously. But it was fun to play Shane. It was fun to play somebody that gives zero Fs of
Yes,
it's
exactly.
like zero, and just does what he wants to do, and I would leave set sometimes being like, wow, that felt really good, that was really fun. Why can't I do that in my life? uh,
Right, right, exactly. I know that's what I was saying too when I was watching. I was like, damn, if I had like an ounce of what Shayne has, like just the boldness and the confidence, and walk into a room and demand like attention.
well, yeah, and I certainly am not like that in my life either. I mean, I have some confidence, but not like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And also it helped because as soon as I said yes to the role, I changed my diet and I started working out more,
Uh,
and I gained 13 pounds of muscle
oh wow.
uh, for the role. So I started eating more. I started working out much more, and changed some of my habits, and uh, and then I started taking boxing classes several times a week. And I had been boxing when I was younger, so I wasn't starting from scratch. But to do this kind of boxing, um, I really wanted it to look natural. And when I'm
Yeah.
wrapping his hands and when we're training and stuff, I wanted it to look natural. So I started taking boxing classes, and that helped me to transform physically to just be a little bit bigger and a little bit like more muscular. And that also helped the way I acted and the way I walked and the way I interacted with people, because it gave it, I feel like that element of Shane in terms of that physical manipulation, whether it's flirting or whether it's intimidating, it was so important to the character to make that world make sense. And so I knew I had to gain weight, and I had to really have that physical presence on set.
Ah, yeah, I was actually going to ask that because I mean, you're always in great shape, but when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, Mike actually looks bigger than what he usually is.
Yeah. I honestly wish I could maintain that all the time, but I can't. It takes so much work. I respect people a lot that are always like bodybuilders or athletes or whatever that always have to do that. It's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it took like a lot of discipline and dieting and working out, and just to get, and plus you were boxing too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I started ordering a lot of Chipotle, and I would at the end of the night I would have like an entire I would incorporate like an entire Chipotle burrito into what I was already eating, and to protein shakes and everything else. And that is how I put on all that weight.
Okay. Okay. Well, when we all know now how to get buff, just go eat
It's
chicken
the
feet.
Chipotle diet. There you go. Yeah.
And, the what I when the movie first starts, like you don't know what to make of Shayne. Like the first time you see him, I mean,
Hmm.
he's flirty, and he knows what he wants, but then it doesn't take you long to find out that Shayne kind of has like a dark side to him, and just the way he talks to Alex, and like, oh, when someone was calling him up, he's like, don't pick up the phone, you're with me now, you're training, and
Yeah.
say yes or no, what do you want to say, and like how you get in his face, and and you could see like Shayne has a dark side to him.
Hmm. Yeah, I it's manipulation 101. In order to try to infiltrate somebody's life and to manipulate them, you cut off the other people that are around them that care about them that might stop you from getting what you want, and you try to take control, and you try to show them that that they need you more
Mhm.
than you need them. And so that's what Shane does to Alex. And Johnny was such a great actor to work with, and he really, I think we had a great rapport on set, and great chemistry, and we had the chance to hang out a little bit before we started filming. And we
Oh,
went to I remember the first time we went to the gym together, I started bossing him around, and I'm like, all right, lift up some of these, do this. And we could already sort of, both of us could already sort of feel what the dynamic would be
yeah.
on set with these two characters. And it was really fun. It would not have been the same movie without Johnny. So I'm really glad that he said yes to this, and he was my partner in crime on this.
Ah, definitely. Like you and Johnny definitely work very well together for the film.
Thank
And
you.
like the one scene that was like very intense, like I wanted to know like how it was for you and Johnny filming that was of course the sex scene between you and Alex, and like how you have him pinned down, telling him, "Oh, you want to get up? Try to get up." The choking, the kissing, and like how was that? Like that was like a very intense scene.
Yeah, it was intense to shoot. And for me, that's not a sex scene. For me, that is a scene about manipulation,
Hmm.
and it's a scene about showing dominance. It's like when you have two dogs in the room and one dog, has to show dominance to the other
Yeah.
dog. Like that's essentially what Shane is doing. And in that scene, Shane is showing Alex, look, I can not only can I dominate you physically, but I can dominate your thoughts. I can dominate your lust. I can dominate you in very vulnerable emotional states too. Because Shane knew that Alex wanted him,
Well,
and he
yeah.
was gonna use that to his advantage. So for me, that's not really a sex scene. It's more of a manipulation, control, showing dominance scene. And then once that happens, I think you see in the movie, once Shane knows he has him, like the fly caught in the spider web,
Yeah.
then you see Shane shift and be much more controlling, almost mean, almost degrading, almost. And that's also manipulation 101. I think what Barry and I tried to do in this was to really show exactly the steps of manipulation that people use to sort of get people to do what they want. And it's, what is it? In the beginning, you give them praise, you give
Yeah.
them attention, you give them everything, and then you take that away. And then it leads to them wanting more and more and more. And that's how
Mhm.
you sort of control them. And then Shane also wanted to cut Gracie out of
Yeah, definitely.
his life, his best friend, and then cut Veronica, his sponsor, out of his life, and
Mhm.
slowly start pushing these other people away so that he can control the situation, so that Shane could make Alex exactly who he wanted to make him.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And without giving too much away, because I'm not sure if the movie's out yet or not. Like, I mean,
It'll be when is this going to air?
I'm gonna post it later on tonight.
Okay, great. So yeah, so the movie will be out everywhere digitally February 10th.
Okay, okay,
So
sweet.
so 2 weeks from today.
Okay. The the Dale scene is like the first time you see like the the really dark side of Shane, like I said,
Mhm.
without giving too much away. And like that must have been like a very intense scene for you because it's like the first time you get really dark.
Mhm.
And how was that like filming?
Number one, I'm really, really happy that it was Mitch Silpa that I was working with, because he's such a great actor. And I think that I had only seen him in Bridesmaids, and I only knew him as a comedic actor. And so to have him on set and to go so deep in that more dramatic role with him was really, really fun. And you know, and I we just found some really, really cool moments that weren't necessarily on the page. And I think we had this like cat and mouse almost thing going on for a lot of the scene. So
Yeah,
we had these like these pregnant pauses where, you know, there would be a look or there would be silence or there would be, you know, sort of these two characters trying to feel each other out and you didn't know where it was going to go. And
exactly.
and honestly that's one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie
Oh, it's
because
so good.
you see Shayne in an environment where for all intents and purposes, you just think that he's some hired hookup and he's just going to go there and show this somebody a good time. And you're like, oh, that's what he's been hiding. He does that on the side and that's the secret and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then it takes a crazy turn
Oh God,
and
yes.
you're like, what is going on? What is you like what? Like that is what he's really like it's almost a fake a false ending where you like almost reveal like the secret and you're like, oh, that's the secret. Okay, cool. And then Alex is gonna find that out, blah blah. And then you're like, oh wait, there's still a secret. And then you're like, oh, that's the secret? What? You know, and Mitch and I we really wanted to play that cat and mouse game and
Yeah.
shoot it very delicately. And if I remember correctly, I think we shot in order. Um, I think we shot in order as much as we could so that we
Okay.
could have that dynamic of like the being friendly, the chatting, and then the batshit craziness where the scene goes. I think we shot in order and we only shot it like two or three times each just to keep it fresh.
Okay.
And and yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and I think Mitch did such a great job. And then you have the shower scene,
Yes.
which I was nervous about because I had never been naked that much on camera before.
Oh,
And
was that your first nude scene?
yeah, like that. I mean, I've
Oh,
had
wow.
scenes where I'm like changing real quick and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Whatever, whatever. But like that, being fully naked,
Yeah.
um, on on camera for that long was a first for me, and so I was kind of nervous about that. But that was such an important shot to get because almost the cleansing.
Exactly.
It's almost like a religious cleansing, um, where we see this side of Shayne, and then he cleanses it away and puts it away and packs it away and hides it again and then goes out into the real world and is the version of himself that he presents to everybody else. And so we needed that scene, like it
Oh,
had to
definitely.
be the representation of that cleansing. And so there was no getting around it. So that was another reason why I worked out so hard.
Okay. Okay. I see that now. Okay. Well, like some movies, especially horror movies, they just like to throw like nudity in a film just because it's the thing to do for horror films. But in this
Mhm.
movie, you're absolutely right. It's the scene that was needed because he's washing the blood, washing the sins.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. We had to show that. And we also had to show that physicality, that sort of he's like a wolf, you know. He's he's um he's just like an alpha male wolf, and even in the shower, he's like standing there just like washing the blood off and like you know, he just in every element of who he is, he had to be that sort of alpha male
Yeah,
controlling kind of thing. Um, or else the character didn't make sense.
true, true. Do you know what did you actually use for the blood? The blood looked great.
I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, our special effects department was great,
Yeah.
so I don't remember exactly what they used. Yeah, I know some of it was in my mouth, and that was
Oh
you know like
no.
that like dye and corn syrup and everything. Well,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be during the fight. So
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
those,
yeah.
I think I know we had like blood capsules, and we had like the corn syrup mixture,
Yeah.
and you know I think they tried different bloods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as it was easy to wash off and didn't stick to you. That's good.
I think so. I think there was maybe one day that it sort of died, maybe my hands, maybe my neck.
Oh no.
Um, yeah, but it is. If that's the worst of it that comes out of this movie, then we're fine.
That's true. You're right. And when this movie's out and a lot of people watch it, like I probably there's going to be like some people that call Shayne a villain, but like when like we were talking about earlier, you say he's not, like I don't think Shayne's a villain either, because there's different layers to him. And yeah, he's dark, but you find out in the movie why he's like that, why he's
Hmm.
dark. And he's actually standing up to these men who are abusing like kids and teenagers. And like to me, Shayne isn't a villain. So like, what would you say about that? Like, you don't think Shayne's a villain either, right?
I think that I am glad to hear you say that, and I hope that when people watch this movie, uh there will be people that are on team Alex and there are people that are on team Shayne.
Yeah.
And it's funny that so the director, while we were filming, after a few scenes, I forget which ones specifically, but he was like maybe halfway through filming, he was like, Mike, like I think when I wrote this, I was on Team Alex, but now I think I might be on Team Shayne. And to
I
hear the
know.
director say that while we're filming is really cool and really special. And so yeah, I mean, I think I don't think of him as a villain. I think of him as somebody that does bad things because he is hurt. It's like hurt people, hurt people.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is what Shayne does. But he has never been taught anything else. And so if somebody came along and tried to um, help teach him something different or take him down a different path, then who's to say that he wouldn't listen and he wouldn't try and he wouldn't whatever? Because at his core, I don't think that he's a bad person. I just think he does really bad things because he doesn't know any better.
Yeah, yeah, because like he had a certain kind of life, and like I said, without giving anything away, you find out towards the end why Shayne is the way he is, what happened to him in his younger years to want to go after these these guys. And Shayne, yeah, Shayne's not a villain to me. Like he does have a dark side, but you when you watch the movie, you're like, all right, I could see why he's like this, and I hope nothing bad happens to him because he's not really a bad person.
Hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think he can defend himself, but I don't know. I think the walls might be closing in on him. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the lines from the film that I love is when Shayne's training Alex, and he's telling him how to work out, how to box, and Shayne says like he doesn't like the gym because everyone's always sitting at the machines on their cell
Yeah.
phones. I
Oh,
start cracking up
that line
laughing.
came from such a real place.
Yes, because I was
And
just gonna say that.
that is it drives me crazy when I go to the gym and people just are not there to work out. They just sit there on their phones the whole time. They take the machines. It drives me crazy. I think that line wasn't even acting. That was just me just talking about my feelings.
I know, like I feel the same way. As soon as I heard you say that line, I started busting out laughing because I was like, this is how I feel when I go to the gym, when I'm waiting
Yeah.
for someone to get done and they're on there like texting their friend, going on Facebook. I'm like,
That is one time where I will be a bit of a Shane, where I'll go up to somebody and say, how many more reps? And then they tell me, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll wait, you know. And just to let them know that I'm watching them, and if they get back on their phones, then they should be somewhere else.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. And like the last time we talked, I didn't have a chance to say congrats because it didn't happen yet. You won your your Emmy for The Bay. So
Yeah.
how did that feel? Like you're an Emmy winner.
Yeah. There she is right here. It's like if I hold my hands like this, it's like I'm holding her. Oh yeah, there you go. No, it's great. My mom jokes. I'm close with my mother,
Yeah.
and she would always joke with me, Mike, when are you having kids? When are you having kids? And then when I got the Emmy, she goes, I was like, here, mom, here's your grandkid. Her name's Emmy. And she's like, that's not funny, but she was really thrilled about it, and she said, okay, that buys you a few more years, but then I'll start asking again. So my family's really happy. My mom is happy. My dad. Um, I It feels really good. It feels good when in this industry, so much of what we do is based on rejection and not being enough, not being tall enough or short enough or old enough or young enough or whatever it is. Um, so much of it is just not having enough of
Yeah.
whatever they're looking for. And so to have an award like an Emmy just remind you like, hey, you're on the right track. Like you're doing the right thing. You're creating content that people are responding to. Keep it up. Um, in that regard, I think it's nice because I never thought it would happen. It's sort of a dream come true.
Yeah.
And it just feels like now I can go out there and attack the world and just know that what I'm doing is working to some extent.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know the Emmy is well deserved. Like you worked really hard on that show, and you you you're a loving husband on the show and stuff, and it definitely shows. And I'm really happy to see you actually won.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and how good you are in this movie. I hope you win something for this too, because like you definitely played it so good. Your Shane's definitely different from the loving husband you play on the Bay, but you know,
Yeah. Yeah, the exact opposite. And that's one of the reasons I was scared to play Shane, but also that that I decided if I'm going to do it, I'm really going to go for it because it was different than anything I had ever played on The Bay or Days of Our Lives or
mhm.
even Slapface. I mean, Slapface, I was kind of a jerk, but I wasn't.
Well,
I
yeah,
wasn't.
exactly.
I wasn't. I wasn't Shane, and it's a lot. So thank you for saying that. We actually premiered at the Burbank Film Festival last
Nice.
fall, and we won the audience award, and we won best LGBT feature film,
Oh
which
my
was
God,
nice.
so great.
So, and the audience award was against every film of every genre from all over at the
Really?
festival, and so that was really felt good um, to win because it's showing me that people not only like this story
Yeah.
specifically, but stories like this that are thrillers, horrors about trauma, and that that are about characters that we don't often see on screen in this certain way.
Yeah.
So it really felt good that we sort of got that affirmation that hey, we made a good movie and it's something that people are connecting with.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Wow, that's really awesome. I'm really glad to hear that because,
Thank
like I
you.
said, I really enjoyed this. And
Thank you.
yeah, definitely. You're welcome. I'm gonna ask like one more question, and it's I know you're a big horror fan, just like I am.
Mhm.
And did you see any new horror films as of late?
Man, I'm trying to think because we haven't talked in a while.
Yeah.
Barbarian was fantastic.
Oh my God.
That was that to me that's an example of a perfect horror film because you go into it, you think it's one thing, the trailer doesn't give away the whole movie, and then every step of the way you're like, wait, did that just happen? What's going on now? What's this? The acting was fantastic. Justin Long, his
Yeah,
character was hilarious.
I know.
And what was it, Bill Skarsgård
Yeah,
was
yeah,
was
yeah.
who like it himself, and then the lead female, what was her name?
Oh, I forgot her name.
Oh, no, she deserves a Google because She was just
He
fantastic.
deserves the Google.
She deserves it. She deserves it. It's no, because she was phenomenal. And is it just Barbarian? Is that what it
Is it
is?
the
Oh yeah,
Barbarian or
Barbarian. Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Zach Kreger directed by, and then it was Georgina Campbell. That's who it
Okay.
was. So
Okay.
who was great in Black Mirror, and she's been great in other things, but uh she was just so good too, because she played a character that allowed you to go, oh, don't walk in there, don't walk into that room, don't do this, don't do that. But she did it in a way that was a strong, badass female character that takes a picture of the ID, and she is texting her friends, and she's turning her look, she's being responsible, and she's not some damsel in distress.
You're right.
And she just does a great job in the movie, and it was, for so many reasons, I thought it was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
um yeah, what other horror films have come out lately?
Did you see
um
Smile?
oh, Smile was great too. Oh,
I thought that
Smile,
was really creepy.
I thought Smile was extremely creepy.
That was really,
I would have changed the ending a little bit, to be honest.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
really wanted, because they really went for it and they made it so creepy. And essentially the movie was a comment on abuse
Well, yeah.
and trauma, not abuse, sorry, trauma. So types of trauma that people have witnessed. So without giving it away for anybody that hasn't seen Smile, but essentially that movie is a metaphor for trauma and what happens in that movie. In the end, I would have liked a message a little bit more of like, you can get past your trauma. She there, maybe there's a world where she actually walked out of the house, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would have liked that, just because of the message that would have sent.
Mhm.
Because I think otherwise everybody watching that movie got what they wanted. They got the
Yeah.
scares, they got I would have liked it to be a little bit more just a little tiny, tiny, tiny sliver of hope in the end. I would have liked that.
True.
But
True.
you know what? I didn't write it, I didn't direct it, so it's not my movie.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And
Yeah.
Megan was pretty good. I don't know if you saw that yet.
Oh, saw Megan. Yeah, okay. I guess I have seen a lot of these movies. Megan was great too. I think it used the Chucky doll
Yeah.
trope, and it brought
Mhm.
it to 2023. And I really like some of the one-liners that she had, and
Yeah.
yeah, and how it examines like parenting and
Uh-huh.
relationships with kids. And I think it did a really good job. I think Megan was a good time. And I
Oh,
saw it in a theater where everybody was loud and screaming, and so that added to the fun.
oh yeah, I'm sure. What were your thoughts on Halloween Ends?
I did not see it.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
personally, I didn't like it. Like, I don't like how they ended Michael. I mean, it
Okay.
was just, yeah.
Don't tell me, because I do want to see it. I do want to see it. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
see it this weekend or something. But
Okay.
yeah.
And is there anything else coming up for you that you want to plug?
No, I mean, I just hope people see the way out. I do have, some other projects. If horror is not necessarily their favorite thing, I have a romantic comedy coming out called The Engagement Dress, where I play uh, somebody completely different than Shayne, than the character I play in The Way Out. I also have a what is it? It's like an action horror that I did with Randy Couture called The Bellkeeper,
Oh,
and that
Colton directs that, right?
Colton directed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be out. I don't know exactly when, but sometime this year. So yeah, there's got a lot of things in the works. So hopefully people continue to watch and like what I'm doing.
Oh yeah. Now, did you get any UFC fighting tips from Randy?
Well, there's some scenes in the movie where he and I are fighting each other,
Oh
and
my God, you
honestly, it was like fighting a bear, like a full grown grizzly bear. One wrong move and my head's gonna be chopped off. Like it was a little scary, to be honest, but it
well, yeah,
was
you're fighting
he
a
could not
UFC
have been.
champion.
Oh, I know. It would be like I bumped into him and I feel like I bumped into a tree. It was, it was a lot, but he could not have been nicer. He could not have been more, um, okay, we're gonna take this at 10%, and I won't break you, uh, and I'm excited for people to see that one. That one's gonna be a fun ride.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I was actually talking to Colton about it, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I know Reed Miller's in it too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Reed plays my little brother in the film, and
Mhm.
he's great. He's so much fun to watch and work with.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And where could fans follow you at?
On Twitter and Instagram, I am I think it's Mike underscore Manning underscore. I had to add some underscores because there was already Mike Manning. And but if you just search my name, it's the first one that comes up. And then on my website is mikemanning.info. So if people want to stay updated on what I'm doing, they can just check that out from time to time.
And do you still sell merch too? Because I remember the last time we talked, you were selling your comic book, right?
So yeah, so there was a comic book that I was a part of that we tried to make into a television show, and we sold a bunch of those. They are still selling those and doing
Mhm.
Comic Con and the circuit, but I'm not as involved with that anymore.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fun. It was Slow City Blues is a great comic.
Oh,
Um,
okay,
it's a
sweet.
really really great story. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So the
Awesome.
way out'll be out February 10th, and if people want to go see that, I would be curious to know what they thought.
Definitely, definitely. It's a great movie. Like I said, when I watched it, I was drawn to your performance in it. Like you were amazing in it. Just to see that side of you, because like we've been talking a while now, and you're like the nicest guy, and then just to see like how you play Shayne, I'm like, I can't believe that's Mike.
Thank you, thank you. Well, good. Then I guess I did my job.
Yeah, definitely. All right, buddy. Thanks again for doing this. It's always fun talking to you, man.
You too, RC, RC, right? Because sometimes you go by Rocco, sometimes you go by RC.
Yeah, yeah. It's both Rocco Cross RC. So
Okay, I'm gonna do RC. I'm gonna do RC. Yeah,
okay, okay. There you go, bud.
cool, cool. All right, buddy. Well, hey, take care, and it was good talking to you.
Yeah, it was great talking to you again, man.
All right, bye.
Bye.